What's going on, YouTube? Uberman again. Um, this is part 2 of the video that I made a couple hours ago um, regarding dealing with Uber partner support, really in general, and the primary focus of the video was dealing with a large fare that has disappeared from your payment statement. So let's start with this. So, as you can see, the issue has been resolved. I mean, I wish I would felt more like jumping for joy, but I don't feel that I should have had to have gone through that in the first place. I'm glad that they resolved it, and they resolved it in a fairly quick manner. I emailed them yesterday about it, so it's probably been 16, 18 hours, and the payment has been put back into my account, my Uber account. I just don't think that it's something we should have to deal with. We shouldn't have to drive people around and then question where our money went, and then have to email Uber 6 times before we get the money put back into our account. It just shouldn't be that way, guys. A lot of people think that we have a really easy job, and if you're a fellow driver, you understand where I'm coming from. I get passengers all the time that are, they're curious. Hey, maybe I want to drive for Uber, and I encourage it. I think Uber's a great deal for just about everybody. But they want to know, how much do you make a week? And I tell them, I'm not a lot of people on YouTube has made statements before. They've made statements that I don't trust anybody that's that open about their finances. Well, my life is an open book, guys. I have nothing to hide, and I'm not a private individual. I don't keep things buried in secret because I don't care. My finances are secret because they're so important. I mean, you're no more important than anybody else, and your finances are no more important than Bill Gates. Who gives a shit? The majority of us out here are small potatoes, man. Nobody gives a shit about our finances. So I tell them, I typically bring in 350 or so a week. I'm going to be working on that. I've been working on that, and as you can see, I've pulled in $420 this week without that fare, and I still have to work tonight, which should net me another $50. So, I can regularly, if I want to, if I need to, I can go out there and pull in $400 a week. I know that's not a lot, but when I say go out there and work regularly, I'm talking about working from 11 to maybe 3. Okay, so 4 hours a day, 7 days a week. Hell, I might even be able to make a little more than that, but $450 a week, that's a pretty good deal. You're talking $1,800 a month, between $1,600 and $1,800 a month for 4 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I encourage them, give it a try, and they're like, well, man, you make that much money just sitting in your car driving around? I take a little bit of offense to that. I know they didn't intend it that way, but there's a lot more to it than just sitting in your car and driving around. You've got to put up with people. I'm sure you guys have experienced this. You pick up a rider. You don't know this person from anybody else. They get in your car and you just got a vibe, It's hard to explain. It's like you catch a vibe off of them. At least I do. I mean, I'm sure someone else out there has too. There's passengers that get in my car and I feel indifferently about them. There's some passengers that get in the car and I just feel like this person's cool. And there's other people that get in the car and I just get a real negative vibe from them. I can't really explain it. Maybe it's some kind of weird sixth sense that I've got, but I'm sure you guys have experienced the same thing. But you got to deal with that. Sometimes the rides are very uncomfortable. Sometimes passengers are just belligerent, and they can be very mean. They can be very rude. They can puke in your car. You've got to deal with you just got to deal with a lot of bullshit. A lot of times it's really like driving children around, and these are grown ass people, and they're worse behaved than my little kids. You know, there's a lot more to it. It's a stressful job, especially when if you're like me, you're out there driving on the ice. Last night, man, we had some pretty heavy snow for a little while. The roads were really icy. It was 17 degrees out. Um, I'm out there. I'm out there, guys. I'm driving on that ice to get the passengers where they need to go in order for me to get a paycheck. I'm putting my car on the line, and there's occasions where my life is on the line. Um, those icy conditions can be unpredictable. They really can. All you have to do is hit a patch of ice at the wrong angle at just the right speed, or maybe we should say at the right angle at the right speed, and nature takes its course. Um, it's a dangerous job, and I feel like we work hard for our money, and we should be paid on time. Now, I'm glad that I am being paid on time, but we don't deserve to have to sit there and wonder, is our money going to come this week or is it going to come next week? Because we earned the money this week, and we should get paid for it this week without having to go and bother Uber partner support and harass them to try to get us the money. They apologize for the inconvenience, which is great, but I just think it's ridiculous. That's it for the two-part series. I mean, I could rant all day about it. The fact is, I still love Uber. I'm still driving for Uber, and even if I wouldn't have gotten that payment on this check, I would still drive for Uber. It's not like I'm going to quit or get pissed off and cry about it. Will I make a video about it? Absolutely. I might even rant a little bit about it. If I experience something that I think is going to affect other drivers out there, and it could affect their families, you can bet your ass I'm going to put a video out about it, because I'm here to try to help you guys and prepare you. Because God knows, if you don't see this video and you take a $400 trip like I did, and then you go out and spend $400 because you're like, man, I just got 400 extra bucks. You go blow that money, but you got a bill coming, but you know you're going to get it on the 5th, so you're not worried about it, and then you don't. It could cost you. It could cost you a lot. It could cost you a house. A week's time can really make or break a person. So that's what I'm here for. I get to bitch a little bit, and I also get to try to help you guys figure out how this works. My biggest piece of advice to you regarding dealing with Uber partner support is always always include the trip ID. Okay, you can find that. Well, you know what? I'm not going to do it from my phone because that gives out the client's personal information. But just go to your computer, go to your dashboard, and you can go to trips. It's on the left side. Go to trips, and you'll be able to view your recent trips. Find the one that's the expensive one, or whatever trip you had an issue with. Just figure that out, right? And from that point on, you can copy the trip ID from the top left corner and paste it into your email to your local Uber support office. But other than that, other than providing them the trip ID, that's very important. There are 3 things you really need to include. Number 1 is the email address associated with your Uber account. Number 2 is your phone number. And number 3, the phone number associated with your Uber account. And then number 3 is your name, obviously. But if it is specifically regarding a trip, always include that trip ID number, because they will not help you without the trip ID number. But other than the things you need to include in the email, keep on them. Be persistent. Don't just send one email. I mean, don't overdo it. But keep on them. Just keep the pressure on them. And first and foremost, really, be polite. Try to understand that, say you get a cable bill in the mail and it's $600, but because somebody ordered a ton of pay-per-view, or maybe somebody mixed your order up, or something, you get a bill that you don't owe for. You call the cable company and you're pissed. You're in a shitty mood. The customer service representative on the other end of that phone call which I have been that person, they didn't do it. Okay, they didn't overbill you. They didn't screw up your account. They're just someone on the phone trying to help you. Well, the Uber people, the corporate people that are on the other end of that computer, they didn't do this to you. Okay, they did not personally do this to you. And also remember, they're the one pulling the strings. Okay, so you piss them off too much. You come across the wrong way with them. They have the power to, I mean, they can deactivate you. Maybe that payment will take a little longer to get there than you'd like. Be polite. And I mean, I try to say that with everything in life. You know, being rude and shitty to people, it just doesn't get you anywhere. You be polite. Be respectful. And understand that they're people too, and mistakes happen. And, you know, hopefully they'll work with you to get it resolved. As always, like, comment, subscribe. I got to go to work here in a little bit. And after 4 in the morning, I'll post a video with my payout for the entire week. I wish you guys luck out there. Uberman out.